The next part of our night is the valedictorian speech.
What Angelica said, we're both too short to do this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to be here. I would like to express my appreciation to all of my teachers, friends, and family members who helped me get to where I am right now, standing here in front of you. I would also like to thank the administration and the board for providing me this opportunity. Most importantly, I'd like to welcome Arts Academy in the Woods graduating class of 2015. But you guys will get enough applause today, so we'll skip that for now. Wow, look at us guys. We look pretty great. I hope all of you in the audience are state fans, otherwise this whole green and white thing might get annoying. Can you believe that we're here? I bet some of these teachers sitting here are more shocked than us, am I right? But seriously, aren't these teachers the best? Give them a round of applause. But anyway, I'll talk about them later. I want to talk to you guys, because I never get to do that right. It's not like we've seen each other almost every day for the past 4 years or anything. I have to be honest, when I sat down to write this speech, I was at a loss for words. What do I say to them? What would they take out of it? How do I convey a message, and will that message actually be valuable to them? Sound familiar, right, Mr. Higley? Just kidding, just kidding. I started searching not only by my heart, but also the internet for for a few wise words to put in my speech. I did take a few things with the assurance that it's not plagiarism because I changed a few of the words. Thanks, Mr. Campbell. I thought, what do I say to the people who have grown up with me, my closest friends, created countless memories with, laughed a lot, learned, taught me things about myself and the world, and shared at least one common love, art. I'm going to point out some things that some of you may already know, but don't think about enough. I'm going to tell you some stories, and I'm going to give you some ideas to take with you, not just tonight, not just for the next year, wherever you end up, but hopefully forever. I know some of you are busy posting silly pictures on Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter, what have you, but you may want to listen for the next few minutes. I promise it won't be long. Miss Jenny is standing backstage with a giant hook ready to pull me off if I go past 10 minutes. Almost exactly 4 years ago, I remember leaving my middle school class for the last time and heading into the exciting and sometimes scary world of high school. I know a lot of you were nervous, though you may not admit it now. I know I was nervous. I was leaving my comfort zone. From kindergarten to 8th grade, I attended St. Paul Lutheran School. It was a small school with a very closely knit community. My classmates, all 10 of them, had been my family, and it was hard to imagine moving on from that place and finding new people to fill that spot in my life. Walking into Arts Academy for the first time as a new student, I didn't know a single person there. I'm sure many of you had the same experience. Lucky for me, and most of you, I did find family within those halls. Not to mention, some of my family did, in fact, find their way into the classroom. So you know my dad, or as we call him, Chef Norris. I can honestly say, as a scared little freshman, entering a whole new world of high school, things like new student orientation gave me that push that I needed. I know a lot of you who attended orientation might look back and say, I thought it was boring, or I thought it was pointless. But I also ask you to look back and think about the people who were in your groups and the activities that you participated in. Are you still friends with those people? Did you learn things about yourself and the people around you? I know that was the case for me. I met my best friend to this day at orientation. I love you! I think that event is just one of the great things about AAW that some of you may overlook. There's a fairly common phrase that I've heard from the students at AAW, many of you and myself included, that goes like this: only at Arts Academy. And then let's fill the rest with something strange or silly that just happened. For instance, at the beginning of the school year, the seniors were excited to get their lockers until one person opened hers and the door came almost completely off and was hanging by a thread. Only at Arts Academy. Only at Arts Academy do they fix the PA system and try to play music in between classes instead of bells, and have the result of everyone being late to class and hating the Jeopardy theme song even more.
Only at Arts Academy.
Only at Arts Academy is there working clocks in only half the rooms, and in one classroom, only math students who know how the unit circle works will know what time it is. Then I started to think of the phrase in a different way. Only at Arts Academy do the teachers and staff care about the students so much that they take away time spent with their families to help the students with everything from homework to performances, to personal problems, to chaperoning school dances. Only at Arts Academy will you never forget you're around artists because theirs are literally up to the ceiling. Only at Arts Academy are you free to express yourself in every way imaginable, through your clothes, through the clubs you are in, through your academics, and most importantly, through your art. Only at Arts Academy is uniqueness, creativity, and excellence thriving in every corner, every classroom, every grade, and every person in the building. I think that's a pretty amazing thing to be able to say, don't you think?
Yeah.
Some of you may not realize how unique our class truly is. Our class is the last remaining cast members of Rent. Our most recent large musical production, which is under the direction of Mrs. Christina Vidal. And we have the last people who performed at the Detroit Music Hall. Our class has also witnessed some major staffing changes at AAW, including several new dance teachers, new counselor, new English teachers, a new art teacher, new math teachers, and a new principal. Wow, that's quite a few, isn't it? But despite all of the changes our school has had, including many of you adding to our class that is graduating here tonight, the school has had a consistency which is pretty great. Everyone here is talented in so many ways and is essential to the excellence that makes Arts Academy in the Woods such a great place to learn. Speaking of learning, this brings me to the teachers. It has been an honor to have known and been taught by the teachers and staff of AAW. While no one loves all of their classes or teachers, which is natural and okay since it's not just us, the teachers don't like all of their classes, and the students make them want to pull their hair out most of the time. We all have to admit that the teachers and faculty of AAW, for as long as you've attended, whether it's been since freshman year or just this year, have made a significant impact in your life. I, for one, couldn't have asked for better people to teach me what I needed to get to this point today. One of the questions people at AAW receive is, since you're in art school, do you still have science and math and stuff? The answer, absolutely. I believe that we have some of the best. Some people find math, English, science, French, gym, and history boring, and they usually are pretty unenthused about classes. That has not been my experience, however. Well, some days, at least. Somehow, the academic teachers make it enjoyable. Every teacher in every department is vital to our learning and makes the different subjects we have to learn as fun as Schoolhouse Rock. Okay, maybe not that fun. Even if you haven't been directly taught by all the teachers, it is still not difficult to appreciate each of their talents and contributions to the school and the learning environment. Then there are the art teachers. They're a unique bunch. The art teachers are responsible for just as much as the academic teachers. After all, we are in art school. Whether you take multiple art classes with different teachers or just camp out in Mrs. Bernard's or Miss Jenny's rooms for 5 out of the 7 hours of the day, which seems to be a common trend, all of the art teachers are fantastic. And you may think that they love their jobs because their rooms are downstairs and they don't have to do as much walking. But it's much more than that. You know they're good at their jobs because you can tell as soon as you walk in the building. From hearing music blasting from the band and choir rooms, to passing the multimedia room and seeing their creations on the walls, including Mrs. Mante's door that says, "I hate pink," and yet the whole door is what color? How could one forget the sight of Keandre's face, or 50 pictures? Definitely, just seeing the dancers in the hallway, or in the case of the teachers upstairs, you know they're dancing because you hear the music through the floor. And finally getting to the display case of the 2D and 3D artists. I know we can all say we are better artists today because of the direction and instruction of our amazing teachers. I remember in senior project this semester with Mrs. Vidal, she said that she's a choir teacher because that's who she is. There isn't anything else she can do. That really hit home for me and made me think of not only the art teachers, but of all the teachers. They're all so dedicated to their jobs that it's really motivating. With all of the crap they endure from us every day, because let's face it, we aren't always the easiest to deal with, they still wake up every day, come to their job, and teach us. I think that's pretty cool. High school can be intimidating for sure, but it is also a place of growth. If you don't spend all of your time updating your Facebook status or tweeting about your weekend plans, or even if you did, you had the opportunity to meet and mingle with an abundance of other students. You got the chance to share ideas, passions, and strengths. One of the slogans that AAW had when I was a freshman was, "Artists are welcome." You may think, well, it's a public charter school, technically everyone's welcome. But here's what makes it more than that. We're looking for outstanding students just as much as other high schools are, but Arts Academy in the Woods values a student's potential much more. We understand that test scores and club memberships do not paint a picture of who you are. Only you can do that. And only at our school can you literally paint a picture of yourself for the entrance exam. This was an excerpt from a welcome letter I received when I registered at Arts Academy, written by our former principal, Max Spade. I believe it still holds true today. AAW is full of students with potential. I think that is especially true for you, class of 2015. I know this because I've seen that potential with my own eyes. The teachers and staff have seen it. Not all the time, of course, because we can get pretty rowdy at times, but on occasion they do see it. Your parents, family, and friends who are sitting here right now have seen it. Yes, you have your good days and your bad days. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but those won't stop after high school. Life is full of ups and downs, as you all know. Life is too short for Twitter wars or reality TV. It's too short to spend all day playing Mario Kart in your mom's basement. Life is too short for most of the crap you'll face trying to live it. And telling you that the world is your oyster isn't fair to you. You're smarter than that. Life is whatever you make it, just as high school was, as well as every situation you'll be in your life to come. And in the words of Hannah Montana, life's what you make it, so let's make it rock. Here are my parting thoughts for you, class of 2015. I'd like to share some words of wisdom from some pretty brilliant people. First, Dr. Seuss. How original, right? Dr. Seuss taught us that a person is a person, no matter how small, which is good news for you, Kayla. He also wrote this graduation favorite. I received this when I graduated 8th grade from my grandmother, who just recently passed away. Her inscription says this: "To Elaina, congratulations on your graduation from St. Paul. I know you will be a great success at AAW. Have fun." Look at that, she was right. Then again, she was always right. You are about to walk across the stage and move to the next part of your journey. Class of 2015, every one of you has succeeded. Many of us are parting ways, and the certainty of everyday class is about to become a thing of the past. But oh, the places you'll go. Each of us will launch out into the great beyond of what seems like an uncharted future. Over the next few years, you may end up at college or trade school. You may be working a full-time job or even start a family. No matter what your path is for the future, you can get there with the dedication, determination, and focus that you have learned while here at this very high school. Another person who taught me, and many of you, an important thing: setting goals. I learned the importance of that in Madame Harle's class. I remember the first day of French 1, the first assignment she had us do was write down 3 goals that you wanted to accomplish this year. Before you can do that, however, you need a vision, a dream. Which brings me to my next influential person, Langston Hughes. He said, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." I say, as cliche as this may sound, dream big, class of 2015. We are a powerhouse of innovation and creativity. We will push boundaries to make the world a better place, even in small ways. Always remember where you came from, and always remember where you're going. Remember, we are sitting here for a reason. We are here because of our goals and dreams that have pushed us to accomplish all things, bringing us here tonight. Look into the stands and others around you, class of 2015. Every single person sitting here tonight is here to support you. You can try, you can fail, you can try again, and success is not measured in dollar bills. Lastly, Langston Hughes was mentioned in a song called La Vie Bohème from the musical I mentioned before, Red. There are a lot of powerful lyrics in that show, and one line in particular that goes like this: "No day but today." While only a handful of you were in that show or even know the story, the message is true for all of us. Here's the idea. Don't hold on to regrets or mistakes that you have made. Everyone makes mistakes. You've made them, I've made them. The teachers you look up to have made them. Your parents have made them. What I want you to do is focus on the good times. Don't take anything for granted. Don't take the experience you've had for granted, the things you've learned, and yes, even the homework you didn't want to do. Enjoy every moment with the people around you. No matter what path you choose to follow as you progress into the future, you will be the best you can be. My senior quote in the yearbook was from one of my favorite shows, The Office. It was from the last episode of the series when all of the characters were reminiscing about the past, looking at how far they'd come, how grateful they were for all of their experiences, the good and the bad, and also saying goodbye and going their separate ways. The quote is, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you actually left them." When we're old, like our parents, we can tell our children and then our grandchildren about the good old days that were spent at Arts Academy in the Woods. So class of 2015, get out there, do amazing things, continue to strive for excellence. Try to bring a childlike sense of wonder to your craft. Yes, we are technically adults now, but the way some of you act, you still got a ways to go. Whether you continue with your art or go in a completely different direction, be humble. It's a freeing, empowering truth to realize it's not always about you. And remember, the world needs you. Through your art, we are reminded that we are all in this together. We started high school together, well, some of us at least. We've performed together, we've laughed and cried, we've sat in class together. We've crossed thresholds together, we've cherished our canvases together. And now we're graduating together. And although we are parting ways and saying goodbye to what has been our home as we've grown into young adults, we will always have the memories of the good old days, as well as embarrassing pictures and statuses from all of our generation's fun social networks, so those will never go away, guys, sorry. I can't wait to see where life takes us once we cross this stage, out those doors, and into a world full of possibilities. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guarantee. Kids, you'll move mountains. Congratulations, class of 2015. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. Thank you.
I could not be prouder of you, sweetheart. You did a wonderful job. Thank you.